you give the world the best you got, and you get kicked in the teeth. Alex Jones and everybody who believes in America, give the world the best you got anyway. So you can bring up any of these contentious, insane issues and the hate and the lies and the corruption and the abuse of power and the criminality, media, academia, our government. God, it breaks my heart. But, Alex, I am so cocked, locked, and ready to rock the Glock, Doc, that if they mess with me, I have historically delivered every time that when they attempt to debate truth, logic, and common sense with Ted Nugent, I eat their family tree and I spit sawdust in their face.
It's May Day. That's the big commie socialist celebration day. Looks like Venezuela may completely fall. The communist parasitic government may be removed, maybe even today. Wouldn't that be poetic justice? Armored vehicles running over innocent people, machine gunning the disarmed population. I have a crazy clip where even MSNBC tells the truth and says if they had an armed population, Maduro would not be in power. The guy's a dictator. Who is that I'm listening to? Is that Ted Nugent? He's joining us right now. I really appreciate him coming on. His new album's out. Music made me do it. We'll play some clips of that. But I wanted to go to Antifa up front with him and just talk about the Second Amendment, the NRA, and so much more. FBI report came out, and of course, you know, Ted's hooked into law enforcement. He probably already knows this, but came out Sunday. Got almost no national attention, though. FBI, national alert, Antifa activists schemed with drug cartels, MS-13, you name it, to staged armed rebellion and to kill federal officers. They've gone inside the groups doing this, but it doesn't matter. Chris Cuomo, whose brother says America was never great, it'll never be great. Chris Cuomo, he says that Antifa is a good cause. This is a group that is for violence, is for attacking people, is for shutting down free speech. They've aimed guns at our reporters. They are a criminal organization that praises killing innocent police. Ted Nugent, thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
It's Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. That's the hopeless cry of a ship about to go down. But I'm here to tell you, Alex, I know all those points you're bringing up are critical. We have to dissect them to get to the bottom of them, rectify them, remedy them, and we the people are hardcore doing that. We thank you for, you know, leading the charge. But may I, if I may the old guitar player bring a more beautiful, peaceful May 1st, 2019 to the Alex Jones Show.
Please do it.
Yes, there is chaos. It is planet of the cuckoo's nest apes out there. Right is wrong, wrong is right, up is down, down is up, good is bad, bad is good. But let me tell you, and I know I always do this, but I think it's very important, especially for you, my friend. I'm like Mother Teresa with a Glock. I'm here to cleanse your soul.
No, I hear you. I'm really pissed off today. Yeah.
And as a warrior, as a constitutional free American, we the people hellraiser, which we all have an obligation to do, and I salute you every time for doing that, we also must listen to the greatest philosopher of all times, and that was Dirty Harry, when he said, a good man has to know his limitations. Alex, you're on the phone with right now and sharing the words of the author of Stranglehold and Wango Tango, that I am in this fight every day for at least 50 years. I'm 70 now, and I started counterpunching the political correctness opening volley back in the 1960s, Alice.
You were the Paul Revere. You were the first to raise the alarm.
I was attacked for carrying a gun, believing in self-defense, promoting self-defense, and murdering innocent animals. I guess somebody missed the barbecue alert. So I have been in the crosshairs of the left, and, you know, they attack you, they attack Donald Trump, they attack anybody who they're afraid of. But can you believe the depth of vulgarity and obscenity that the left levels at me? The things they say about me, if my children weren't already Nugent fortified for truth, logic, and common sense, it would break our hearts, because the media is the devil. And of course, only the guilty need to feel guilty, but the nasty, rotten, hateful lies they level at me and my family, we brush it off like personal hygiene off of Michael Moore. We go into battle anyway. So let me just emphasize that you give the world the best you got, and you get kicked in the teeth. Alex Jones and everybody who believes in America, give the world the best you got anyway. So you can bring up any of these contentious, insane issues and the hate and the lies and the corruption and the abuse of power and the criminality, media, academia, our government. God, it breaks my heart. But Alex, I am so cocked, locked, and ready to rock the clock, Doc, that if they mess with me, I have historically delivered every time that when they attempt to debate truth, logic, and common sense with Ted Nugent, I eat their family tree and I spit sawdust in their face.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because you look at AOC, you look at Ilhan Omar, you look at all these America haters literally trying to invoke racial and religious war. It's not working. And as you said, though, those that are dumbed down are getting dumber. Those that are awake are getting more awake. And I think we are really starting to win the culture war in many ways, not just here, but all over the world. But they are just getting crazier and wilder and more violent and more insane. And I'm just wondering where you think this is going.
Well, it's not pretty, but you know, I've been at this. I've been in hand-to-hand combat with this culture war all my adult life. And there were junctures where I was genuinely frightened by the direction. Obviously, what Bill Clinton did, what certainly the worst of the worst when Barack Obama took the helm and started the suicidal nosedive against the Constitution and freedom and individuality and rugged individualism and entrepreneurship. But I'll tell you where it's going. If you and I could donate to a cause to get AOC to talk more, to get Saul Wells to talk more openly, to get Adam Schiff to talk more openly, to spotlight the cockroaches and the top authority figures like James Comey and Brennan, and these people who literally ran America, now they've been exposed for liars and haters, and here's the clincher. They violate their oath to the Constitution every day when they wake up, and American hardworking families are going, are you kidding me? You believe in killing a baby even after it's born? You believe in using the American government to confiscate guns? You actually believe that there's free anything? You actually want to turn San Francisco into the feces needle epicenter of Earth, and you're proud of it? So it's like you and I went to Central Casting and we said, how could we get the most obnoxious, offensive, stinky punk to represent the enemy? And they gave us Nancy Pelosi and Michael Moore. We should be grateful that the left is so emboldened that they're that stupid to think that there's that many dumbed-down Americans, and we are going to kick their worthless ass in 2020. Mark my words.
I totally agree with you, but it's like you're saying. You go out, you see these people, I go out. We're not trying to exaggerate to make them look bad. They're so horrible on average now. And so stupid and so hateful.
I've got a lot of liberal friends. You know, most of them I've already fixed, but some of them are still too stoned to get it. So they don't believe in secure borders. Alex, that has been the ruination of every culture. They actually believe that you can get free stuff, that nobody has to pay for stuff, college tuition and a guaranteed income. You don't think that might disincentivize people if they don't have to...
Hold on, Uncle Ted, stay there. We're going to break. I want to walk through borders. I want to walk through free stuff and where this goes every time. What people don't get is if you're bordering even a nice country and you don't have a border, criminals set up and jump back and forth in the systems. But if you've got a corrupt country or a bad country, it will collapse you if you don't have a border. And 100%, we are being collapsed by design. I think the Democrats know what they're doing. They want to bring the country down. They want to loot it. The average kind of dumbed down liberal just goes into it because of peer pressure. I agree with you, but I think the left has converted most liberals into actually just being pirates.
I think you might be right, but I'll give you a word from the not-so-mean streets of America, right fresh from the National Rifle Association convention in Indianapolis, and my spirit soars on high.
I totally agree with you on that. I want to get into your new record. I want to get into Trump and some of the other issues you see unfolding when we come back. But just briefly, NRA shakeup. Obviously, you're part of the NRA board. You're involved in that. I'm just trying to stay out of it. But the NRA's strong, right?
NRA is strong. We are on course. We believe in the right to keep and bear arms and to crush anybody that gets in the way. If you're not a member of the National Rifle Association, Nancy Pelosi would like to thank you.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to come right back with Ted Nugent. And by the way, folks, a lot of people say, oh, the NRA's not hardcore enough. It's Ted Nugent that got him back on the straight and narrow about 10 years ago. And thanks to great groups out there like Gun Owners of America. But regardless, the NRA, thank God for the NRA, ladies and gentlemen. We keep them honest, though. We keep each other honest. We'll be right back. Infowars.com, Newswars.com. Visit those sites. Those are the censored sites. The music made me do it. Cocked, locked, and ready to rock at tednugent.com. 70 years old. And I got to tell you, meet him in person, he's an intimidating guy. He's not trying to act tough. He's just like, this is a red-blooded American right here. He's on fire for freedom. And then I go, his wife's amazing as well. Then you go out to a leftist event, and they look like somebody sucked their soul out, like it's Day of the Dead. And I don't say that like I'm having pleasure that they're so pathetic and so stupid, and they just chirp lies. Chirp lies. And I'm glad Ted brings this up a lot, because if you haven't been famous and a conservative or a nationalist, you've never experienced the lying when you know the truth. They do NPR pieces and ABC News pieces and CNN pieces where none of it's true. Because you tune into these things, you think, well, something's got to be true in it, right? Like half of it's a lie. No, all lies. Insane lies. I mean, we had reporters in Rutgers and other areas, and people walk over and go, Alex Jones killed children. Alex Jones is a pedophile. I mean, just made up. But this is what Democrats do. They believe all of this. So it's just important to understand. They've gone to seed. They're rotting. They're falling apart. Ted Nugent, the new album is out. And, you know, most folks, their first album is the best, or their third album, but by album 20-something, they're not good anymore. You tune into Ted Nugent music, it just gets better and better and better. And to watch him play the Star Spangled Banner in his living room, it's just, there's nothing like it when you're sitting 3 feet away. Tell us about the new album a little bit before we get back into what's happening currently, Ted.
Well, I had a bumper crop of goosebumps this year, and I'm willing to give them away free. You know, I'm so lucky, Alex. I am 70 years old, but it's important to note, and I tell this everywhere I go because I'm from the crazy world of rock and roll where I have to step over all these dead bodies because they were trying to be hip and go to a party that included, you know, drooling, puking, stumbling, and dying because they wanted to get high and be comfortably numb. To that I say, kiss my royal high-energy ass, and I tell everybody I go and speak with or share campfires with that I've been clean and sober for 70 years. No drugs, no alcohol, well, I do chew on an occasional Cuban when I shoot my machine gun, but I don't think I inhale.
Exactly.
My point is that I really am alive. I'm 70 years engaged in my absolute moral, intellectual, and I believe spiritual obligation to perform my duties in participation in this sacred self-experiment and self-government. I'm a we the people. Even guitar players are we the people. So when I surround myself with the best of the best, you just get music that has a life of its own. The new record is called The Music Made Me Do It because the music makes me do it. And I've got Jason Hartless, this 23-year-old animal on drums from Detroit, carrying on that incredible Motown firestorm of music, and Greg Smith, the world's greatest bass player. And we go out all July and August every summer, and we play 6 nights a week, sometimes more. And the energy from the audience, you know, I know the music alone, even if I was a drooling idiot, the music, if it was this good, everybody would love it. Like,
and by the way, you know, you're not whining. You're not a victim. You're a target because you're a leader. You've told me, and I've read about it, you could sell out arenas. You could make $20, $30 million a year. You've been banned by all the big operations and things because you're a Trump supporter and because you support the Second Amendment. People need to know that those of us that really sign on to this new Declaration of Independence to restore the Republic, we are punished. And that's why it's important for listeners to understand when you get a Ted Nugent album and you share it and you circumvent the enemy that's trying to kill this culture. When you buy products at InfoWarsStore.com, you circumnavigate their attempt to shut us down. Sorry.
You know, yeah, well, you're absolutely right. You know, I like guns, but I would never force anyone to own one. I like venison, but I would never insist and make a law that you have to eat deer meat. But the left is just the opposite. They hate guns, and they think they should forbid everybody from the Second Amendment. They think that animals are cartoon characters, I guess. That's how stupid you can get. That's what comfortably numbs them.
And they don't understand that if you've removed the predators and there's too many deer and they start starving, they don't get management, they don't get harvesting, they don't get anything.
You know, I'm part of this Hunters for the Hungry program, Alex, and this is important, especially on the Alex Jones Truth Network. We, for the last 30-plus years, the Hunting Families of America, we kill, process, and cook 300 million hot, nutritious, organic meals of venison
Incredible.
For homeless shelters and soup kitchens every year. Now, you listen to PETA and the Humane Society of the United States and these liberal freaks, they would shut down the system by which more homeless and needy Americans get the most nutritious organic meat in the world. And every soup kitchen and homeless shelter will tell you what they need is fresh, good meat. And of course, we all know if you want to get sick, you'll eat something that says USDA on it. And if you want to have the healthiest food in the world, it'll be something that Ted Nugent killed, gutted, butchered, hung up, and cooked for you. So the hunting lifestyle is the purest, most environmentally friendly.
And they want to kill humans being out. All the studies show hunting, being out in nature, makes you more happy. It activates who you are. Gardening is the same thing. Being outdoors, they want to put us in. That's a big trait of leftists. As you notice, they're all kind of these indoor, glow-in-the-dark people. Getting back into some of their hardcore issues. But you're right, lifestyle's key to not let them get us down, and a great way to do it is your new album that I just absolutely have on speed dial on my phone when I'm exercising. Let's get into Antifa, though, because I mentioned this. CNN's Chris Cuomo says Antifa is a good cause. I wanted to play this. This is a communist terror group that goes out and attacks any type of conservative or nationalist, which then Cuomo calls all conservatives white supremacists. Here it is.
He said two things, okay? And I do want people to remember, he wasn't on this correction campaign back then. He had plenty of opportunities to do it. He didn't. He said two things. One, there's blame on both sides for the violence. Now, Steve, you can talk alt left all day long, and that's fine with me. I have no problem with it. People who are rogue actors and criminals deserve the harsh treatment of the law. But whether you want to talk about Antifa or Black Lives Matter or any of the groups that assembled that day to fight against neo-Nazis, you make a moral equivalent between those two actions, you're making a mistake in America.
So there you go. They're just back to this made-up Charlottesville thing. When Trump was clear that day, he's always been clear, it's another hoax like saying Trump hates all Mexicans.
Well, that's more perfect examples of the mindless, soulless, runaway dishonesty that the left is strangled by. I mean, here's a guy who signed into law that you can kill a baby after it's born. It's not even in the woman's body anymore, so the woman can't claim that she has righteousness over her own autonomy. The baby's on the table, and he signed a law that you can still kill it, and he got a standing ovation, Alex. So this guy is the source of morality for who? Remember, it all comes from Saul Alinsky, Hillary Clinton's hero and Van Jones' hero and Barack Obama's hero, whose book, The Rules for Radicals, was dedicated to Satan. See, a lot of our society,
these people are just over-the-top evil.
I have a feeling everybody listening to Uncle Ted and Uncle Alex right now already know this, but if we dig into Cloward Piven, if we dig into Saul Alinsky and all those that genuflect at the altar of these evil, demonic organizations, Antifa,
they really are evil.
Gang of punks.
They are, and they'll target a woman or a person in a wheelchair. They're the archetypal cowardly villain.
Well, let's identify their parallel goofball dirtbag organizations. So you belong to an organization called Occupy Wall Street. They're going to protest Wall Street. Well, here's a little tip for you if you can put down the bong for a minute. If you're protesting Wall Street, you got there using Wall Street businesses. You got your clothes from a Wall Street business. You get your food from the Wall Street business. It's like my buddy Tom Morello, who I love and adore, one of the greatest guitar players in the world, and just a good man. But he wears a T-shirt with a picture of Che Guevara on it, and he's in a band called Rage Against the Machine. And I say to him, so are you raging against the machine that you bought your amplifiers from?
It's crazy.
Are you raging against the machine that built the stadium you perform? What machine are you raging against? They're living a lie. It is all a dope pipe stream lie.
Well, it is. I think a lot of them actually know it's a lie. They just want to domesticate the general public using socialism and communism. Look at Venezuela, totally collapsing, armored vehicles running over people, and even MSNBC, let's play this clip, admits that armed citizens could have prevented the tyranny. Here it is.
I know, Kerry, you've spent a lot of time down there. I think it has been surprising to a lot of people in Washington, in the administration at least, that this is taking longer than they thought, despite the sanctions, despite the pressure. With the help of Russia and other outside forces, Maduro is hanging on.
not only hanging on, but he appears to still control the military. You have to understand, in Venezuela, gun ownership is not something that is open to everybody. So if the military have the guns, they have the power. And as long as Nicolas Maduro controls the military, he controls the country. And
wow. So Ted Nugent, stop the presses. The MSNBC just told the truth.
Wow, I'm going to have a heart attack. This is a stop the presses moment. You're right. But here, I'm going to repeat, 1 and 1 equals 2. You need to earn your own way. You need to live within your means and save for a rainy day. All that radical Ted Nugent stuff. Well, here's the ultimate battle cry for the American dream and living as a free man or a free woman. Unarmed and helpless is unarmed and helpless. All victims of tyranny and emperors and despots.
Hold on, we got to go to break. Do 5 more with us. We're going to do 5 more with Ted Nugent. There is a mission. I'm asking you to accept it and take action. We have had such a huge effect over the years with our T-shirts, but we haven't had a hit T-shirt in over a year. Yeah, we sell a few hundred here, a few thousand there, but when we had 50,000 Hillary for President shirts on the street, or Obama, Joker, 100,000 on the street, it changed the world and it funded the info war. All of our apparel is 50% off. That's all the T-shirts, all the ball caps, all everything. So again, I would encourage listeners to understand, if you're in a right-wing or nationalist area, you'll get pats on the back, a cup of coffee probably bought for you wearing an InfoWars shirt, meet a lot of like-minded people. It's a real adventure. But if you're in a leftist area, they don't speak Latin. They don't know what Molon Labe means. They don't know what a Attorney Response Team is. They don't know what a Don't California My USA is. That's some of our new shirts. So that's a fun thing, is just meet like-minded people and spread the word. But if you wear an Infowars.com shirt in some leftist areas around universities or whatever, you might get stabbed or hit over the head with a baseball bat or whatever. So caution when wearing these. But our audience really doesn't run. So I made all these T-shirts that don't have Infowars on them, and people like them, but nothing like they do the ones that are loud and proud Infowars.com, or that Trump Medusa T-shirt's my favorite. But the best selling is the in-your-face, big, bright red Infowars.com shirt. That's the one everybody wants right there. We have the Don't Tread on Me. We have Mean Like a Wolverine. We have a bunch of great ball caps, 1776, 50% off all apparel. And they point out it's annual. We've not done this, I looked it up, in over a year. Listen, the dollar isn't what it used to be, but everything is 50% off. We go and look at what the purchase order is, what it was, and give you literally 50% off. This is the best time, and these shirts freak the leftist out, the globalist out, and it helps fund this great operation. All apparel, 50% off at InfoWarsStore.com. Haven't done this in over a year. InfoWarsStore.com takes you right there at 888-253-3139. Wear your colors loud and proud at InfoWarsStore.com.
Baseball today. It's the American way. Of course, the next best thing to a seat in the stands is a seat in front of a 19-inch RCA Victor television. One more day to Labor Day weekend, the traditional occasion for tasty outdoor barbecues or picnics.
are between me and
Times Square, 42nd Street. Transfer is available. 1